everyone. Good evening and welcome along to the Sports Corner Live. It's the game we've all been waiting for. It's the one match which you got your pen and your paper and you circled on it and you went, that's the game I want to watch at the Euros. And no doubt, if you're an English or you're a Scottish fan, this is the biggest game since Euro 96. As Tubbs says, like, fuck off, Tubbs. How are we all doing, everyone? Welcome along to the stream. If you are new, as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription if you are new. I'm delighted to say I'm not alone today.
You're not alone.
I'm joined by Mr. Rowan. How are we doing?
I'm very good, mate. Oh, it's a big game, innit?
It's a massive game.
We take out the whole, it's Scotland and everything. We win this, we're through. Especially due to that Czech Republic win. We win this, we're through. Only got Czech Republic to play left, and that game could mean nothing to us. And similar how to the World Cup, where we didn't really play a good team against Belgium for a better draw, it could be exactly the same here. But my God, I feel like I'm more nervous for this game than Croatia, and Croatia was our tougher game.
Definitely. And the atmosphere in Wembley, although it's not full, it's a quarter capacity. It's brimming full of confidence and nerves, no doubt, with the fans from Scotland and England. I think we said before there were 20,000 fans that had travelled down, half of them without tickets. But jokes aside with Tubbs and that, he did put, good morning, Josh Rowan, good morning, Tubbs.
Morning, mate.
What happened to KL? He's not here for this game because he's watching it with his dad. And then Will couldn't join us as well, unfortunately, because he's also got people around last minute as we are hearing the national anthems, of course. Scotland fans belting it out as loud as they possibly can, while they are getting booed by the England fans.
That's it. I ain't got audio on.
I've got a little bit of audio on to hear what's going on, but let's go through the lineups for the match. And as we said earlier, when we were talking with myself and KL, 4-2-3-1 for the game today, unchanged, pretty much on most of the areas of the pitch, apart from the two fullbacks. Luke Shaw, Reece James, both coming in. We are missing Kyle Walker, Saka, and a few other players. Jadon Sancho is on the bench as well. You don't change a winning side, do you usually, Rowan?
No. We got asked this so many times during the week leading up to this game, what changes would you make? And the one I was always saying would be that left back. And we changed it. We brought in an actual left back. I thought it was going to be Chilwell, but it's Luke Shaw, which I'm fine with. And I think the right back, I was actually surprised with. I genuinely thought that Kyle Walker didn't really deserve to be dropped. But we've got Reece James, who is a quality fullback. The rest of the team is something that didn't need changing. For me, it was going to be Sterling. Would have been one for either Grealish or Sancho, but I'm fine with Sterling on the pitch. Definitely.
It's national anthem time for England.
Don't know it.
Get ready. Here we go.
I don't even know it.
I only know the first part.
It's our gracious Queen. Long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. It's the most Brexit thing, isn't it?
It's not hard to be able to do it in sync. They'll sing it for us. They'll do better than
I just realised that because KL obviously, he's not calling two mans, but his dad lives in Scotland. That makes sense now. Oh, God.
It does. And he even said he got booted out of the house in Scotland. He's had to obviously come here to watch the game. So fair play to him. As Vinaldo and Kyle are in the building. Kyle, how are we doing? Come on, the Scottish. Vinaldo saying, Mon the Lions, 3-0 to England. Lads sound good. This is going to get DMCA.
Too good.
Genuinely, we had a copyright strike when we put the national anthems on, which I can't believe.
I do apologise.
No, it was fine. I obviously appealed them and got it sorted out. But I can't believe they've got actual national anthems on copyright strikes.
Look,
but
I was so scared to do them because I don't want them getting a copyright striked. But I think it was the Russian one I left on for a longer time because it's such a class national anthem.
That's what I mean. I don't get why they are copyright. But anyway, this is the team for Scotland's game. David Marshall's in goal. Back three, Grant Hanley, Scott McTominay and Kieran Tierney are in there. Midfield five, Robertson and O'Donnell are the two wide midfielders. Will play as fullbacks. Midfield three, you got John McGinn, Billy Gilmore and Callum McGregor. Gilmore coming in for his first ever Scotland appearance. No pressure, mate. And then up top, Lyndon Dykes and Shea Adams. They played up top together in the second half of the other match, which they lost, of course, against the mighty Czech Republic, as Rowan will very happily know. And then, as you can see on the bench, the likes of James Forrest. They've got McKenna of Forest, Nottingham Forest, not of Forest. Fraser as well of Newcastle. They've got a few decent players. And as we said before, England's bench, they've got Grealish, Rashford, Maguire is back for the first time as well since he picked up an injury. It's a lively one, this one, Rowan. What we guessing?
It's tough, innit? It's really tough. Like I want to back the boys. I want to go for a 45-0 win. I'm going to go with what I said to you. 4-1. Scotland take the lead. We don't score till the second half. And for betting sakes, we don't want that. But no. I just think that first half isn't going to be confident for us. But I think once we sort of get used to this side, I think Scotland, one thing that does surprise me is that back three. Considering you've only got one natural centre-back in there, I would have presumed McTominay's for Gilmore, and Gilmore obviously comes out and they play like Liam Cooper there or something. Really surprised to see, first of all, Billy Gilmore in, and then having Tierney and McTominay both at centre-half is a bit strange.
Yeah, as I was saying on the stream before, they've played McTominay there a few times as a centre-back, but at club level, he doesn't play there, and it's a big gamble. You know, when you're coming up against the likes of Foden and Sterling, and you've not really played that position much, it's always a gamble in itself to play him in that position. But I think they're just going to take a knee for racism together, which is, of course, very good to see. But Peter is in the building, Howardine. He says, I've completely changed my mind with the result. I've gone for a £50 draw at 5-1. 2-2, which would actually do my bet a favour. And my prediction, which I, of course, held off to wait to say, as we have kicked off with this game, I'm going 3-2 England. And I said earlier, we haven't had a 90th minute winner in this competition yet. Today's the day. Tonight's the night. I feel it.
So set on it. Who's down already?
Luke Shaw is down after 17 seconds.
I genuinely thought that was Eric.
Is that Lyndon Dykes?
Yeah, Lyndon. First of all, I was so confused because I was like, who's this skinhead there? It's Lyndon Dykes. Second of all, I thought Luke Shaw was Eric Dyer then. When he was down on the floor, I genuinely thought it was Eric. I was like, has he been called up and we've missed it?
I do get what you mean. It's the hair at the back, innit? He's got a very similar style to Eric Dyer, but no, you're all good. He's not being called up. And
I like Dyer, I don't know.
I don't think he was too bad. I think he's one of those players where I know obviously we've Tottenham and that they've not had a good run this season, but because he can play two positions, he's a good little squad player to have. And bit of nerves at the back already from Grant Hanley, who's had to just boot the ball out of play.
Yeah.
And how many yellow cards do you think we're going to get tonight? Because I think with the rain, with the atmosphere, it could be feisty.
I think when this game gets later on, well, Sterling, you're fraud. When this game gets later on, like 67th minute, when either hopefully England are running away, that Scotland get frustrated, start getting carded. Yeah,
what I want to see is kind of just throw it down. I want to see heavy rain, so then we do get the sliding tackles in the rain. It'd be lovely to see. You know, you usually get those pictures in slow motion of tackles flying in, the water going everywhere.
Especially with the 4K cameras, if they've got them here.
I don't think they have, sadly.
It's such a shame, because watching, I think it was the end of the season, they started using 4K cameras for like when players were running down the wing. And then I know in WWE they were using them for entrances. Never noticed how good 4K looks until you show it in slow-mo and you can really tell it, the difference with it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think we will probably see it over time. I know the league has got it, so I think we'll probably see it in the Premier League over time as well. But it's a nervy game, this. As we said before, with Scotland, a win today isn't imperative. I think a draw they'd probably still take, knowing that last game against Croatia would be a winner-takes-all situation, which would make quite for an exciting last match day. But Al says you guys have a match timer at all. I think I'm 30 seconds behind. We would, but because we're on StreamYard, I don't think I can get Snaz set up on it. I can try.
What we could do is we could just count you down, Bernardo. So if you're on 30 seconds down, if we go to, we'll say when we hit 3 minutes and we'll count you through there, and then you can basically pause when you hear a time that you're on. So 3 minutes, or 1, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9, Oh, 10. So that gives you 10. That gives you a good thing as
ITV. Oh no, it's back. I
was getting ITV buffering flashbacks from my Switzerland watch-along where I kept on buffering.
I was getting terrible flashbacks of when Gerrard scored the winner. Scored a goal and it cut off for the advert break.
Mental, that. Absolutely mental.
Painful. I remember watching that and it cutting out. Unbelievable.
Chance behind. Well,
ball played towards Shea Adams. He takes the shot on and it's blocked really well. Not the best clearance.
No.
But nervy moment already for England.
Very nervy moment. And it's one thing, all the pressure is on England in this game. And obviously Scotland, I don't think they were expecting we might have been on. I think nothing was really expected of Scotland in terms of to go far in this group, whereas England, we were expected to top it. So they've come into all these games. It's gone through the legs.
Oh! I thought very nearly there. McGregor was going to somehow shimmy his way through the whole defence and have a chance. But Benalda says he's very far behind the States for some reason, which is a real shame for you, lad.
Yeah, I wonder why. Obviously, I know we're in England, so we're going to have basically a direct feed, more or less. But you shouldn't be that far behind. You're watching it on TV, like on, I don't know what, ESPN or NBC, whoever got the coverage.
Yeah, hopefully they sort it out. Because to be fair, usually with the cameras, they're all quite in sync anyway. So you're never really too far behind in a match wherever you're watching it in the world. But yeah, he's watching it on TV. It's strange that, very weird. But going to get a free kick, and the referee, he's the referee that managed the Champions League final. It's his last season in charge. He's retiring at the end of the Euros, I think. So
he's not that old.
Yeah, he's not that old, but I don't know whether it's similar to Bundesliga. I don't know if they have a rule or not on whether he can actually referee.
Oh, wow. I suppose you want to keep the referees fair. I mean, at least I wonder if he'll probably do a couple of the late stages then. They'll probably get the referees who were retiring at the end of the competition to do a couple of the later games.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he was probably the ref that covered the final as well. As the last match for his career altogether. But
very similar to that... what's he called? Daniel something.
The one who was in the Dortmund game.
Yeah. Give him like a big team to sort of his final send-off.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. When you've had a career that long as well in refereeing, the chance to referee big finals like the Champions League is an experience every referee dreams of doing.
And again, we're already seeing it. We saw it last game. Kane does really well to win a free kick there. Calvin Phillips, mate, the Bielsa training is proving to work like a masterclass for us and Phillips. The murder ball, is it, where there's no fouls or something. If the ball goes out of play, a new ball gets introduced immediately. And then basically they don't stop. We've seen this 6 minutes and Calvin Phillips hasn't stopped running. And I know it's 6 minutes, but God.
He's a quality player. I mean, I actually picked him out as the one to watch in this game because obviously, I mean, the performance he had in that match against Croatia, I'm shocked that he didn't get picked out as the star of the match. And
it was Raheem Sterling, weren't it? They were always going to give it to the goal scorer, but yeah. And as you said, then we talked about in that last stream of should Calvin Phillips be called up? And this is when Leeds were in the Championship. And it's nice to sort of be proven wrong in terms of, he's coming to the Premier League and he's performed at such a high standard. He's got the call up and now here, performing at an even better stand-up. Free kick comes to nothing.
Yeah, Rice gets a very slight touch on the ball, doesn't really know much about it, and it's a pretty simple save for David Marshall, who was... Well, I mean, you've probably seen all the videos of the last couple of hours of the fans in the streets doing the conga, chanting Marshall's name. Brilliant to see.
He's going to need some confidence after that horrific, not even performance, just error against Czech Republic.
Yeah. Very stop-start this first 7 minutes. I know, obviously, I wouldn't expect the referee to bring out cards early on, but as this game goes on, if we do get, let's say, 15 minutes in and we are getting more fouls, I don't think it'll be long before the referee does bring out the first card of the match, because that's 4 or 5 times now we've had fouls.
And he'll have to make a statement soon, because that's Calvin Phillips' I think, 3rd foul nearly. So if he commits one more, it's surely going to be another yellow, and you don't want that, because you don't want your best players of the last game walking around on eggshells, because you don't want to get sent off.
Definitely not. See what happens here. Scotland, of course, got Lyndon Dykes in the man they lead it towards.
Defending.
Good work there. And they were just saying on commentary how, of course, missing Maguire is a big miss in the long run, but Mings and Stones did really well against Croatia.
Yeah, we talked about Tyrone Mings last Watchalong and about sort of how when he got called up, not even called up when it was people talking about it, was like we don't trust him. But that game against Croatia, there was a lot of heavy touches from him, but it proved to work, taking it past taking it past the likes of like Perisic and Rebic, who were putting him under like heavy men's pressure. He still kept a calm level head. I think we only really saw one mistake from him and it led to nothing.
Yeah, and I think as well, the good thing about allowing Mings and Stones to play together is when Maguire does come back, if, let's say, and obviously we hope not, but if Maguire does, let's say, pick up an injury or fitness levels is not right, Mings has that experience of playing in the games.
Yeah.
So if we do go to the later stages, we get to the round of 16, and let's say Maguire's not available, then we'll feel a little bit more confident in Mings because he's had 2 games under his belt.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
you don't want to go into a game against Portugal or France, let's say, and you're dropping Mings in that match without no experience.
It'd be the equivalent of now if it happened and Conor Cody had to come in, or Ben, but luckily Ben White got some time. Very surprised that White was dropped off and Cody wasn't, just because White came off the bench against Croatia.
Yeah, I was surprised, and I don't think there's any injury issues either, because I think yesterday everybody was in training and everybody was okay. So yeah, it's a weird one.
It's a really weird one. I mean, obviously, Dean Henderson had to drop out. Aaron Ramsdale's into the team, since the Croatian game. But apart from that, everyone's back fit and healthy. I think Saka is just very unfortunate. I think Ben White's the most. Sterling does well. I think Ben White's the most unfortunate because he actually got minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and even Kyle Walker as well missing out. I think that one might be more of an injury than anything.
Or fitness, yeah.
With the way he's looking, obviously, you can only I think his 23-man squad. It looks like what he's trying to do is one fullback misses out of the 23-man squad, as there's going to be a chance here for Mount. That's going to take a deflection and a corner.
Good attempt. Oh.
Good chance. Lively start.
I think this game will heat up when one of the keepers has to make a legitimate save. I mean, we saw it in that game, the earlier game, the 2 o'clock with Slovakia. It was how... who was it? It was Slovakia, Sweden. It was how Robin Olsen had to make an amazing save. And then immediately the game heat up. Dubravka then on the other side of the pitch had to do practically exactly the same.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes were irrelevant in that match. Oh, Stones! Oh, what an opportunity. I mean, he scored 2 goals at the World Cup, I think, from corners.
Yeah.
And literally, as you said there, that might be the moment in the game which just wakes Scotland up a little bit.
He rose the highest there. I don't know who, he beat a lot of players there. That's an immense header from Stones. That's on target. Wide open.
Oh. So unlucky.
Should he be doing better there, maybe? No.
I think yes, he has to.
Yeah,
I think he's very hard to get it, but in that situation, he's on his own. He's completely free. I think he's got to put that in the back of the net,
or at least force David Marshall to make a save. At least. Because I saw the jump up and he was like, do you know when you jump up and you start falling back? That's what was happening, but he sort of corrects himself.
Yeah, it's a good chance, but I think in that situation, when you're completely unmarked, you've got to be putting that in the back of the net. I think we said a few times in this tournament when we've had players on corners and that they've missed chances, but the mistake here, Sterling might have a chance on the left wing. Going to take on his man. It's McTominay, and it's very nearly another chance for Mason Mount.
Close, it's coming. We're knocking on the door.
It's a lively start, and it's that man McTominay. We said before, taking chances in the defence, and he allows Sterling to take him on. And it's not a confident start, is it, for Scotland?
Not confident at all. Through the legs of McTominay, and there Mount being allowed a lot of space. If he's a little bit close to the net, he's putting that in the back of the net. And if I'm Scottish fans, there's going to be just a lot of worries right now because your team haven't really defended that well.
No, and that will be the worry. It's whether England can break them down. But I tell you something, I would absolutely love to be in a bar around about the London vicinity right now because it must be absolutely heaving in every single pub around Wembley. There's a chance for Dykes and pass is just a bit too heavy.
Even in a Scottish pub right now, because regardless of all the chances, Scotland will still see themselves in this game before 0-0. It's if that first goal's in, it'll be interesting to see how Scotland respond. But yeah, you'd love to be in a bar anywhere in like the country, any major city.
Absolutely.
It'd be absolutely heaving.
That'll be the first card, I think.
Bit of afters in it. That man, Calvin Phillips, who got involved with John McGinn. I think he's just going to give him...
Brought a yellow card out here. I think he's letting off.
I think that'll be his final warning. See what happens here. There's nothing in that. No.
Nah, not enough. Not enough.
It was McGinn's foot getting caught and Calvin Phillips maybe just locking it up a bit.
I think the referee there is just probably pointing in and said that's your last chance before you're going to get a card, no doubt, because as you said, that's probably a good 3 times we've seen him going for tackles and he's been let off.
100%. The thing is, as a referee, I'm sure it's tough because you want to assert your authority and say, right, if you do this, it's a card. But when it's 15 minutes in, it's like, will he want to give out a card so early? Because it could ruin the tempo of the game. And at the end, the referee's job is to make sure the game's being played fair. But at the end, he can dictate how the game goes in terms of play.
I think he will bring cards out. I think he has to at some point because
good strength.
Things he's wrestling against Dykes does really well there.
Not free kick?
Yeah, he's given a free kick in the end. He hasn't. He's given a yellow card to McGinn. So McGinn goes in the book for the back chat.
I mean, fairness, that was 2 times now we've seen it with McGinn again. Look at the eyes. We all know what's he's called, the legend, the Italian bald referee who's got the wild eyes. What's it called?
Is it? I'll try and find his name. I think it's is it Ravelli, referee?
I can't remember. But we just saw it from that referee there, just giving the evils. Oh, James doesn't clear it well. Giving the evils to McGinn. So the Aston Villa midfield. I guess I'm about to say it's against his other Aston Villa teammate in Tyrone Mings. Good ball kicking. Good, well cleared by John Stones.
Good start. Really good start. I think.
Yeah.
We do have to watch out with Scotland because I think Lyndon Dykes can be an absolute menace in this game. I think 6 with his height and his build, very similar to how Wales have got Kiefer Moore, who has been an absolute menace for them. I think we have to watch out with Lyndon Dykes because we've seen it when he's come up against Mings, he will cause problems for him. Yeah. And if he can get good crosses into the box from the likes of McGinn and that, then he might just get on the end of it.
I think both these teams, like especially Scotland, have got shithouse players. In terms of McGinn, he is a little niggly player who will just get under your skin. And we've seen it here, I mean, for back chat, yellow, but if he's talking to the referee like that, we can only imagine what he's saying in the English players' heads. Seeing that reaction.
Oh, he's a menace, isn't it? I really like John McGinn. I think he's a quality player.
Yeah.
And Scotland have got a class midfield. They've got a bloody good midfield. And when you think, on a usual day, McTominay being there as well, so I'd class him. They've got 3 quality midfielders that they'll have for years to come. I mean, obviously, Gilmore is still only 18, 19. McTominay's in his mid-20s. McGinn, I think he's 25, 26. He's quality players. Foden's offside. Brilliant! Oh! And I think he was offside anyway. And it is.
He was. Oh.
Good chance.
He's got to score today. It's the entire clip that's going round from Gaza scoring against Scotland, weren't it?
It was.
And when they did the water bottle spray.
Oh, good chance. But yeah, right decision in the end. He's just offside.
Again, confidence is there. From us especially. And it was one of the reasons why Phil Foden shouldn't have been dropped. Because he does bring you that ball over the top could be so dangerous if we opt to use it.
Here comes Scotland, though. See if they can have a chance to the game. I mean, they've not had many chances yet, but as this game continues on, it'll be a case of can England take the chances rather than Scotland? As we said before, they're the underdogs in this game. They are the ones which will be happy to be classed as the non-favourites because there's less pressure on them.
100%. I've seen Lyndon Dykes winning, nearly won every single header he's jumped up for. I mean, that was a free one, don't get me wrong, but it's already caused so many problems.
Sean Evans is in the building. How are we doing, Sean? He says, did you know that Cal Walker and DCL were former Northampton Town players?
Wow.
Interesting.
Well,
it's always nice as a smaller league fan. You know, when you've got a player who eventually makes the international fold for England, it's good to see.
It was us with Tarkowski. Who was from the old academy. Went to, not Forest. Don't matter. Ball on the wing. Mount.
Corner.
Come on.
Causing all forms of problems for McTominay right now. That's a few times where he's been tested. Just this free at the back, I think his first 20 minutes, England are really using the wide space that they've got to manoeuvre into. And let's see if John Stones can go on better here. Or Tyrone Mings. One of the two.
That's one of them centre-backs.
Or maybe a Grant Hanley own goal. Someone put in the own net.
A David Marshall own goal. Just a tournament to forget for him. It's good ball.
It's not the greatest of crosses.
Phillips wins it, though.
See, now this is where they can hit on the break. Good work in the end. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. Phil Foden coming back. Things you love to see. I love attackers coming to do the defensive duties.
This is the thing. We've got a good energy about our squad, especially because we've got a lot of younger players with more drive, more hunger than I think we could say of other players we've had in the England squad for the last few years. He's a quality player.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I would have loved to put him as my youngster of the tournament, but I think he was already expected to have a good one. Whereas Sasa Kalajic, or Kalajic, however you pronounce it, he's not having a good tournament. I tried to back him.
No, but I will say at the same time, I think that's more Austria having a bad tournament than Kalajic himself. But
100%. Who did you go for?
Say that again.
Who did you go for?
I went for Locatelli.
Oh, well, that's just cheating, isn't it?
Who has had a very good start. Very good start indeed. Kyle said referee's name was Antonio Mateo Lahoz. That's the referee's name.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Yeah, the referee just gave shades of him. I'm sure as a player, he would have been one of them referees you just wouldn't have wanted to come up against. Just in terms of, as a player, I feel like you couldn't talk back, otherwise you may get murdered just by his eyes.
No, it was always one of those refs. I can't remember his name. I think Walt Carput was the referee for this game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
No, we meant the. I'll find him. I'm going to type a famous ball.
Kalina, that's his name.
There you go. There you got him. He's so scary. And as a manager, you wouldn't want to talk back, would you?
No. You know that if the yellow card was coming out, whatever you did in that situation was spot on, and you were not, talking back to him. Free kick though for Scotland. Billy Gilmore lobs the ball in. Comes towards Dykes, headed away by Stones.
You know what? Look at the look at the amount of players we had back then. I think that was nearly every single player. Not taking any risk. Hold up. Genuinely, Foden was our deepest player at probably just outside the D, which is, nice to see.
It's a good start. Benala's put in the chat, Czech Republic look very decent despite the result today. Slovakia also, hopefully, they aren't aging sides. They've got a generation of players in to keep their nation strong. I definitely agree with you. I mean, as we were saying before we went live, I said any other team that comes up against Czech Republic in the next round will really worry because they're very organised and they've not conceded yet. They've got the best defensive record in the competition with Sweden.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Vashlik, I didn't know he was a free agent until watching that first stream with you and Kerr. I didn't know he was a free, which is meant any club that need a keeper right now should snap him up immediately.
Yeah, I think if Dortmund hadn't have signed a certain keeper, they might have gone and maybe put in a free offer for him because he's a good keeper. He's only 31, 32. So for keeper, you've got a good few years left in you.
If we lose Roman Burke, I wouldn't be opposed bringing Vashlik in. If he would want to be a sub player and have Marwin Hitz as that third keeper, because he's taller. And then you've got your fullback, Soufal. We all know the season he had at West Ham. Jan Borrell at left back, undefeated season for Slavia Prague. So they've got to. I think centre back is maybe their weakest point. I mean, Thomas Kalas. Normally it's Andrzej Krudela. I wouldn't say they've got a standout there in defence. But yeah, like you said, really talented side.
Yeah, they've got a good team. Defence is the weak point. It is the weak point. Oh, good lad. But now they put Tottenham need everything. We are a mess. Honestly, man, what is going on with Tottenham? Because I know you guys are now not going for the Gattuso either, which is bonkers. And then Benaldo asked, where was Vashlik before? He was at Sevilla. And before that, he was at Basel. So he's been around the blocks. But definitely no doubt, I think, any club in the next few months when the Euros are done, he will not be a free agent for much long.
No. Someone
will pick him up, and it'll be a top European club, I think.
100%. I mean, this Euros can really is really helping the people. And you talked about before, Locatelli. I know we were rumoured to be looking at him for 40 million before the Euros. It's risen up like 25 now, and it looks like it's Juventus.
Yeah, Denzel Dumfries is another one. I know Everton wanted him, and I think I saw something today where they said, I think originally it was 20 million euros they wanted. Now they want 40. And obviously they're saying because of the way he's playing right now, his value increases. So in some ways it's good, but in some ways if you're a club looking at a player and he's having a good tournament, it makes it harder to get him.
I think one player who maybe boosted is Patrick Van Aanholt. So it's also a free agent and he'll get offers. I think being called up to the Netherlands team is 100% going to help him this tournament. Just because I think he'll be able to go back to a Premier League club because I don't think he's actually played god-awful. He hasn't done much, but he's tried to create something. I think teams will look saying, okay, he can still play at a good level.
I think the test will come in the knockout stages.
Yeah.
That's when we'll see what happens and whether De Boer's got enough trust in PVA to play or whether he plays Widenall instead. But Peter's put in the chat, this is Scotland's final. They're going to fight to the death, and I think they've done all right so far. I think if you're a Scotland fan, not had as many chances as you'd maybe want. Although saying that, it'd be a free kick for England there. I think they've played good enough in this game to keep England at bay. And then Bernardo put, that's why he seemed familiar being at Sevilla. And I wonder if Schick has gone up in value as well. I imagine he does.
Will have done. Just mental because he's not even the best striker. Not even that. He wasn't even that good for Bayer Leverkusen, but he's just stepped up in the Euros.
I don't know what it is. It's a weird one because, when you look at Schick's career, never really did well at Roma, not done good at Leverkusen. He hasn't really had a club yet where he's fit in perfectly, and I think there'll be a few clubs after him after the Euros, no doubt.
It wasn't worth the 40 million. It wasn't worth the 40 million that Roma bought him for or sold him for, whatever. But he's proving now that he can score and be a danger. He's just interested if he can convert that to club form.
And that's what he needs to do. Because I think if he was to, let's say he stayed at Leverkusen and had another good season, then I think that's when clubs would come calling, wanting to bring him in, because then they know that he can do it at a club level. Because he's all right on the international stage, but I think we've seen it before where players do move after having good international performances, and then at club level they don't do as well. I think Cheryshev is an example. Inui of Japan, he moved, I think, to Betis after the World Cup. Ochoa, he didn't really do much. I think it happens quite often, and obviously you get into the hype of seeing a player do so well internationally, you'll pay the big bucks.
Yeah.
And it's the risk of flopping. But then again, it can happen in any situation.
Yeah. But it's why they play like Denzel Dumfries. Will he get to it? Will. It's like they play like Denzel Dumfries, who is playing at a good standard in the Eredivisie, and then he's just rising his stock. It's not like a player who wasn't doing well for the club and then burst on the scene at the World Cup or the Euros, because then people do panic buy, and it could leave yourself in a sort of a sticky situation.
Yeah, exactly. He's had a good mixture of both club and international, and that's why teams like Everton, and no doubt there'll be a few other clubs looking at him as well after the season that he's had. But we're nearly half an hour in, still 0-0. quieted down, I'd say, in the last 10 or so minutes.
100%. I think we're making some nice little runs in behind, but slowed down, having to come closer to the ball. Scotland, that five at the back is going to be tough to break down at points, especially with just them three with Foden and Kane up front. But it's a good ball in.
Kane! No, it's all wrong. All wrong. And I think he's offside anyway. Yeah, linesman's put the flag up for offside.
God.
And we'll just see it now.
So close. He might have been on. See, that's the situation. If he puts that back of the net, they go to VAR, and if he's on, we wouldn't be complaining about the flag that not going up.
Yeah, he got that all wrong there. I don't know whether if he was in two frames of mind or whether to take that with his foot. And then obviously he's gone for the diving header instead, and it's nowhere near in the end as Bernardo put. I remember when after the World Cup, I prayed for Benjamin Pavard to come to Spurs. Stuttgart didn't have a major price tag on him at that time too. And you look now, for example, he doesn't play for Bayern. He's an outcast.
Just mental. Because take away that World Cup, he's still a quality fullback.
He just doesn't get enough game time to prove himself. No. And then Peter was saying, Cleaner, the big-eyed ref, that is the one indeed we were talking about earlier. You are spot on, Peter.
But this game, I don't think it's had the start we were hoping of. I mean, again, fair play, against Croatia, it was only a 1-0. And luckily, we're winning these games.
10-8.
Brilliant save. I nearly jinxed it.
What a chance from O'Donnell.
Woo.
That's a brilliant save.
And that's a brilliant ball across. Was that Robertson who fizzed that across?
I tell you what, it's a good shot, that Stephen O'Donnell. He looks at the ball, keeps his eyes on it. He's a little bit unlucky, I think, with the ball, how it bounces. Yeah. But good save from Pickford, that.
Great save. It's on the bounce as well. Good save, Pickford. And then whoever missed the sort of rebound probably could have done a lot better. I know it comes in at pace.
But that's the warning sign. You know, as I said, we've not had many opportunities from Scotland, but that is the best chance of the game for them.
I think for both teams. I think England haven't really tested David Marshall, but fair play Scotland sort of making the first move in this game of chess, really. Yeah,
exactly. We've got 15 minutes left of the first half, which plenty of time to see if not we can maybe get an opening goal in this game, so we're not good at half-time goalless, hopefully. But I'm saying little arms to the rescue.
Look at him. I think I rate Pickford as a goalkeeper, I really do. I think he's the right choice in net. For me, I never saw Dean Henderson as a starter. And I know he's a good keeper, but his spatial awareness isn't that good. And I would have rather Pickford. I know he's a class goal, don't get me wrong, and he can do a way better job than I or anyone else could, apart from Pickford.
I just don't think he's played enough as well. That's his problem. I think had he have had a few more games at United this season, then maybe he might have been in the talk to be a starter. But there's a chance here for Foden, heavy touch. Really poor from Phil Foden. Really poor.
Such a shame. And I mean, we've got 13 minutes left. If this goes into the half at 0-0, I think it'd be severely disappointing from both teams because they both have had opportunities to score.
I'd probably say Scotland would be the happiest of the two sides. I think they've played the game quite well. I just think that chance for England we stoned. If that had gone in the back of the net, could have been a very different situation. Very different.
It was one of the ones that the wheels could come off for Scotland. Then if Stones pulled that way, all the momentum could have been with us.
I think that's the thing. You know, it's when you concede early, it can always completely change the game plan because then you worry about if they're going to come through on goal again, maybe get a second goal and things like that. And I think Scotland, they've done all right so far. I think they'll be happy that they've weathered the storm. Obviously, there'll be a lot more opportunities in this next 30 minutes to see if they can get a goal England. And I think same for Scotland. I think there'll be one or two chances for them before half-time.
Yeah, I don't think this game is over. Well, this half is over, I think both teams will have a chance. I mean,
it's end-to-end.
Yeah, I think the pace is there from both teams. We might get like a 2-minute, 5-minute breather, but then both teams that go for it. Seeing it here with Raheem Sterling, just outside the box to Mason Mount. Get a good ball in here. Never mind, he slipped. He slipped.
Terrible ball. And that'll be the wet conditions of Wembley. First game that actually had rain, which is typical for England.
But the thing is, our weather has been so nice. The thing is, it's not even raining up by me. It's still been hot today. It's been warm and humid.
It's no rain here either. But I think it stopped at Wembley. But it seems on and off. But what's Sterling? Lovely ball. Shit touch.
Both Man City players there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sterling's ball was probably a little bit harder to control. But a player of his quality.
I don't think he actually even gets a touch. He might get a slight graze the ball, but...
Not much. Not much at all.
Good ball that from Mount.
But Mount again, twice. Oh, no, Luke Shaw played the first one. But we know where to expose them. That running behind has worked a couple of times in this game. It's just if we could actually control the ball.
Might be a chance here for Scotland. If we can get the ball forward.
Well won.
Good work. Now this is where you break. Here's Kane. He's got the chance now. Too slow.
It's a poor ball. But I think it's
somebody like a DCL would come in handy over the top with the pace.
The thing is, Foden, I'm not going to say anything. Foden there, if he plays it straight forward to Harry Kane, instead he's picked a corner. If he can play that straight through to Harry Kane, Kane's should finish that. But instead he's gone for the corner instead, and it's poor placement.
He's not had a good start, has he, to the Euros, Kane? You know, by this point at the World Cup, and then obviously it was less quality. You know, we're playing like Tunisia and that, but he got a few goals in those games, and so far didn't see much of him in that Croatia game. I haven't seen much of him in this one either.
I think in that opening bit to Croatia game where he was coming back and winning the ball was great, but we haven't seen that. It really seems like he's more just standing and waiting for the ball. I think in that Croatia game we fought for it a lot more, and I don't know whether because there was a bit more on the line for them players, just due to it's sort of not retribution, but in the last major tournament they beat us in a semi-final. I think we wanted revenge, whereas this game it doesn't feel like we desperately want it yet. Our preference.
And that's where it'll change as the game goes on. If we do get, into the 60th minute and it's still 0-0, let's say, we might be in a position where we do push numbers forward while Scotland desperately see if they can get a goal, as Foden, I think, might have pushed Tierney over. Or was it Mount? It was Mount.
Nothing in that. There genuinely isn't nothing in it as well. I don't think. It's gone with I thought that was a corner. Fucking fraud referees. That's going to be a foul, isn't it? No, we're lucky. Seen England players already warm up. I was going to say, is that a sign of things to come? But they're not coming out, are they? Not in the
I
first
don't
half.
think he'll change after 35 minutes.
It'd be bold from Southgate. It'd be very bold.
Here comes Scotland now. This might be a little chance. Oh, lovely.
He's done well.
Lovely. He's just got no one near him.
Oh, that's an awful ball. Is it Che Adams who plays it? Yeah. Doing us a solid, isn't it? The Englishman.
Doing the work. That's what Cheers, Che.
Agent Che Adams. Bless him. At least the fans are loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an experience and a half, this, isn't it? England, Scotland at Wembley.
I don't know what you think, but this tournament so far, have you seen enough of us where you think we could beat a Germany, a Portugal, or a France? Or a Belgium? I don't think we've scored enough. I think scoring one goal in that Croatia game where we should have won that a lot more, and not scoring against the Scotland side again. We've had so many chances with the ball in behind.
I mean, we are only 40 minutes into it.
I know.
It's one of those where obviously we've only seen one game of Portugal, France, and Germany to know what they can bring to the table. I think that the best example of what we'll see is when we see Portugal, Germany tomorrow. to see whether or not the quality is there consistently. But not so far. I think Kane's been way too quiet. And that's a major problem for us because, usually, and we've seen it this season with Spurs, he's the one player that can get the goals and he can get the assists. But
100%.
He's just done nothing so far. He has been completely distant from the rest of the players.
Yeah.
I mean, even look at the corner. He's distant from the players now. That kind of sums up how it's been this tournament.
The thing is, you look at other, Pickford punches out, actually does really well, get an angle. Go on, counter-attack. Raheem.
He's not going to get that.
Nah, Tierney. I'm sure Scotland fans are buzzing that Tierney's back there.
Oh, it's a big addition to have.
100%.
Massive addition.
Where was he at before he signed for Arsenal?
Celtic.
Yeah, Celtic.
Yeah,
I couldn't think if he was from Celtic or not a Rangers, like a Hibs or something.
Yeah, no, he was Celtic for a good few years, I think.
And I think Scotland fans, they've got a good team. We talked about it earlier. They've got Shaw. Oh, look at the wheels. Just keep on running.
There's no one there.
No, there's no urgency like there was with Croatia.
I know you want to get off to a good start, but again, as I said, I think that the game we have to look to be really worrying about is the Czech Republic match because they're the ones in form. They're the ones who look good. Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to playing them because I was saying before, they've got a very good track record against us. I remember us playing them, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like a 7 or 8 goal thriller when we played them. They're not an easy team to face.
No, and the thing is, they've got a striker who is in form. Yeah. Unless Harry, let's hope because obviously we've played one less game, but Patrick Schick is on 3 goals. Let's say 2 goals off that first game until we even it up. Harry Kane against Croatia, I can't think of many opportunities he had where they forced Livkovic to make a save. Whereas against here, hasn't got the ball at all. It's really been Foden and Sterling doing that.
Yeah, and I don't think, to be fair, even then he had really many, if any, chances in that Croatia game. I can't remember him having one, to be honest with you.
No.
The only chance of this game he's had is the diving header, which he got all wrong. It's not the best start. I'd be interested to see, and I don't think he will, but I'd be interested to see in the third game, if we have won this, whether or not Kane gets dropped and we play DCL up top and give him a go.
I think if we're already through against Czech Republic, change a couple of stuff. I would say give DCL a start, play Sancho and Grealish.
Yeah.
Basically change that entire front three. Maybe give Mount a rest. Maybe give one of the 2 CDMs a rest. And then, if Maguire's fit, play Maguire. And give it a good rotation so that when you go into that round of 16 game against whoever we play, we have got ability and sort of fresh players coming off the bench.
And I think it's key. We were saying before with Maguire and that, I think it's key that you do give everybody a bit of game time so they've got some experience. So when it does get to the knockout stages, if we are there, everybody's got some game time under the belt. So when we do get there, they've got the experience of it.
That's what you want to say. It's a good ball. Go on, Calvin Phillips? No. Surprisingly not. Comes to absolutely nothing again. But yeah, it'll just... My worry is that luckily we are making good changes at the half, but this might be a bigger game than Czech Republic. Because if we win this way through, which allows us to have a rest, if you know what I mean, and sort of give players who may have not been playing the best, let other people on the bench have an opportunity to go and take the game and go sort of prove to Southgate, like, this is why I deserve to be starting over Sterling or Foden or Kane. And again,
yeah, we need it. We need it.
Yeah.
Or else we are going into that game. We're going to be playing everybody, all the big boys. And it is going to be a bit more of a struggle because then we will be going into the knockout stages with players that might have not had any game time, which I don't think is helpful whatsoever.
No. It'll be an interesting strategy from Southgate of how he operates. First of all, what he does in the second half. When does he make them changes? Because Does he wait late and hope that the players on the pitch do the job, but then if he makes changes later, then the players that come on going to have enough time? Or does he try to pull the trigger early and sort of let a Grealish come on and get a good 10 minutes to properly get his teeth, sink his teeth in, and then like keep on making changes and let Grealish get into the game, let Sancho, let Bellingham, let someone off the bench just try to take it by the scruff of the neck? Because if this is 0-0 by the time we get to at least the 70th minute, I know we're a long way away from that. But my God, as I said, Scotland would take the lead in this game for the half, and they've enjoyed a nice bit of possession here.
Just again, there's not much space for them moving to either. There's not much going on for them. They get the ball on the wide sides of the pitch, and there's nobody there to play it into. Well, they're saying that Shea Adams got it. He's just going to go for the shot. A corner, which they'll take, better than nothing.
And why not?
Kyle, he's put England aren't playing like Euro contenders, which, as I said, I think there's a long way to go for us before we're classed as contenders to win it. Need to play better if they want to be taken seriously, because better teams will destroy them.
100%.
No disrespect to Scotland. And yeah, I think if we were to go through and we did play someone like a Portugal or a Germany, then I think there is the real opportunity for them to go and bag a few goals against us right now. But, I mean, if they could get a goal here, Scotland, this would change the team talk.
Yeah. Wait and see. Go short. Well,
terrible ball.
Unless Grant Hanley wins that. Well, Calvin Phillips, at least he's got to clear. But looking at the teams now who were at the top of their groups that will be contenders going through, Italy played 2, 6 points, 6 goals scored, 0 conceded. I know their group is easier, don't get me wrong. Belgium, quite an easy group, 6 points, 5 goals scored, 1 goal conceded. Netherlands, 5 goals scored, 2 goals conceded. And then we get to us, 1 goal scored. And we've obviously got 1 more game left. But you look at them teams, they're putting the ball in the back of the net, whereas we're not even getting an opportunity of that.
No, but I would also say at the same time, to argue that stat, I guess, how many of those goals by the Netherlands and Italy and vice versa were scored in the second half? You know, Italy scored a lot of their goals. In fact, was it all of their goals?
Yep, Locatelli's double and Immobile. Yep. Locatelli's first. No, I think they were all in the second half.
I think they're all in second half, and that's been the tendency in these games for most of the goals to go in the second half. And it's half time in this game. It is 0-0. It has been an interesting game. I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah,
a few chances here and there. The best opportunity for both sides. England was John Stones, who should have arguably have had a goal in my opinion, and then the best chance for Scotland was a volley from O'Donnell, which was a very good chance, which Jordan Pickford saved. But apart from that, 1 shot on target in this first half. That's the same amount as Sweden and Slovakia.
Oh, get in there. And we love that game. We really did. I'm going to sit on the floor. I'm actually because it's more comfier, but give me 2 seconds.
All right, lad. It's all right. But yeah, not much going on in the game. And when you look at the stats, England, 4 shots, none on target. Scotland, 5 shots, 1 on target. 60% possession for England, 40% for Scotland. There's been 14 fouls in the game, only 1 yellow card so far, which was for McGinn. But apart from that, as we said, not really much going on whatsoever in the game. It's been a quiet one.
Yeah, really quiet. And obviously, I think England probably have been the better side, if we're being honest. But, I mean, the second half will be interesting because I think, because we haven't had them opportunities, Southgate can't go, oh, well, we've been the better side of this half. We just need to convert more. He will have to tell them, you need to take the game quicker. And I think, like you said, Kyle summed it up perfectly. Is the way even we're playing, we don't compare to the France, the Belgians. We're not comparing to them right now. All them other teams have played with a Euro winner, sort of Euro winner style. Whereas I think Croatia, we showed it partially with like a calm. We were very calm with how we played. There wasn't any major rush, but it looked convincing. Whereas these opening 45 minutes doesn't look amazing yet.
And this time,
hopefully we see it.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see whether or not that happens. But I just look at the team and I think other managers out there on an international stage, would they play a little bit more attacking? Like if we were to have I'm trying to think of his name, the Spanish manager, for example, Luis Enrique, if we had him in charge, would he play the team that Southgate does, or would he go a little bit more different and play it attacking? Because I think there'll be a lot of people out there, and I'll be very interested to see on social media what people are saying at half-time of that match. I'd assume the Scottish fans will be quite happy, and it'd be quite the opposite for England, and they'll probably be saying it's been fairly boring.
It'd be so nice to have a proper experience. Look at Italy with Mancini. It'd be really nice to have a really experienced manager. It really would. In terms of international, or not even international, but who has won stuff. Southgate has won nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's the problem. Sometimes you need someone with a pedigree and experience of a winning nature. And I said it before on another stream. I said that the most notoriously known manager on an international stage at the Euros is Mancini, because he's been there and he's won it. He's been at Man City, he's been at Inter Milan, he's been at other clubs. He's won things. And when you go into the dressing room as a player, you'll sit down and you'll listen to what he says and you'll take it in, because he's done it with the best players in the world. He's taught Aguero, he taught players like Balotelli and that when they were in their prime. I think he was there when Ibrahimovic was there. He's been there and done it. And I think a Southgate, do you really look at him and think, do the players play for him, or they're just playing for themselves?
I think Southgate will have an aura to him. At least he's competing on an international sort of stage. But he does, when you walk into a thing, when he says something, I feel like you'd want to believe it. And with, like you said, a Mancini, even I know there was a bunch of talk that people wanted Mourinho, because you believe a manager who has won stuff. You believe a manager who can say, right, this is what you need to do, and this is why. And they could easily go, oh, well, look at what I did there. This is how we won it. Southgate can't say that. Southgate could go, oh, well, look what we did at the World Cup, lads. But it's like, I think, unfortunately for us, the World Cup was great. The atmosphere around the UK was possibly one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah. Even like people who weren't football fans were joining in with this, because there was a sense of unity. But if we looked at it from a footballing perspective, our run was simple. Panama and Tunisia, we struggled against Tunisia. We won it late on. Panama, yes, we lost to Belgium. Then we beat... It was Colombia in the first game on penalties, right? Sweden in the next game on only 2-0. Again, not massively convincing. It's Sweden. And then we obviously lost late on to Croatia. I feel like the World Cup brought fans and players' confidence to a level where we sort of needed humbling. And I don't think we've had that since. And that's why Southgate's still on the job, because of what he did for the World Cup.
And I think they still want him in charge for the next one as well. So regardless of what happens, I think Southgate will still be around. And
you know what?
The World Cup will be the big test for him.
It will. And I'm not opposed to it, because then it's another year. It's two major competitions. Let's say we do go far. Let's say we get a semi-final or a quarter. Then the pressure, not pressure, but he's finally got experience of managing the international sort of club. It's a high standard.
Yeah, and he'll have that pedigree then. He'll have the experience of the World Cup before to use that to his knowledge and things like that. But I'm just looking on social media, because I said I wanted to see what everybody's been putting. And as I said before, it's one of those where people are saying it's just very sterile. There's not really much going on in the game. There's a lack of movement in the midfield. And of course, when you look at the bench, there's one player everybody's been screaming out to see for God knows how long. He didn't play in the last game. Jack Grealish. They want somebody in the midfield who, we've seen Foden. I think he's been the only player on the right-hand side that has looked to, when he's got the ball, to move forward. I think Sterling has not had a good game. He's looked really poor. Kane's been very quiet. But he needs somebody there in the squad that'll get the ball to him. And I think Foden has tried to get the ball to him. So I think there's a lot of people out there screaming for Sterling to be subbed off and Grealish to come on. But if you were to look at the bench, Rowan, and maybe make changes, who would you bring on to be the difference maker?
Again, you summed up perfectly. I take Raheem Sterling off for Jack Grealish. I think Grealish really does deserve that chance. And normally I would say don't listen to the fans. The fans are not the manager, but the fans have been clamoring out for one player. And it's not been a Jadon Sancho. It's not been Calvert. It's Jack Grealish. And we saw it. Yes, it was against a weaker opponent, but we saw it in them friendlies we had for the tournament. He was a player who wanted to get the ball and go for the game. And in a situation like this, you're 0-0 at 45 minutes. I think we need a player who's going to go take the game straight to goal. I think Jack Grealish does that. I wouldn't be opposed Harry Kane coming off for DCL. I really wouldn't. But I can understand Kane staying on. Would like DCL. I'd also love to see Sancho, but I would keep Foden on for quite a bit. Wouldn't be surprised if a Mount or a Rice comes off for, well, it will be Bellingham or Henderson, really, if we're being honest. Maybe Jack Grealish sits in at Cam for instead of Mason Mount if he still wants to keep Sterling on. But I'd rather have Grealish on the wing. But yeah, Jack Grealish is the one. And we said it in that first game, and he didn't come on. This has got to be the game he surely does.
You'd expect it, and we already know, Matt. I think Maguire, he said he was having some inclusion in the game at some point. So we know Maguire is probably going to come on. So that's one sub gone. I think we'll probably see, as you said before, we'll see one of Rice or Phillips come out. And no doubt that'll be Henderson who comes on. Just a light replacement. So that's two subs. I hope Grealish does come on because I don't think Sterling's had a good game, but something tells me we're going to be waiting a little while for that change to be made because you know what he's like. But few comments in the chat. Peter put he wants to see DCL come on at some point, which I think if KL was in the building, he'd be screaming out for that. And I mean,
everybody's not about to say he'd love it. I don't know what. I'd love to be in a game. I'd love to get to a point. I'd love to win the lottery where I can create the dream. We create a Sports Corner Dream 11 versus the Sports Corner Dream 11. So like, one team has got Stefan Tigesh up front. One of them's got DCL. One of them's got Gilly Bones at right back. One of them's got Felix Paslak or something.
Our favourite players XI.
Yeah, but we make two teams, so it's like me and you versus the Kierans or like whatever. And we have Tigesh and DCL on one side. We've got to have Billy Jones at Gilly Bones at right back. Who else can we have? David Wheater has got to be in there.
It'd be a mishmash of interesting players, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be incredible. I'd love to see it.
And then Kyle asked as well, do you think if England had harder qualifying groups where they didn't make it through some, would Southgate still be in a job?
I think we'd make it through the groups. And I think he probably would, but I would like to see us in a group with maybe one really tough game, just to test us. I just want to see us get tested on an international stage in friendlies.
The last time, I know obviously it's with qualifying, but I think that the last time we had a tough group was, I'm not going to include the Nations League because it's always going to be tough, but it was the 2014 World Cup when we had Italy and Uruguay in there, and that was a tough one. And of course, we failed with that.
Was it Costa Rica with the other one?
Costa Rica, yeah.
Could you name all of our groups that we've had? Like, how far do you think you could go back? I think I could go to 2010, and even I'd struggle, and I've got no knowledge.
I think it'd probably be 2010. I could go to, and that's about it. It's any further than that, then I can't remember it much.
2018, it was obviously Panama, Tunisia, and Belgium. You said 2014. 2010 was USA. Did we have Trinidad and Tobago, or was that 2006?
I can't remember. 2010 we had USA.
Did we have?
Did we have Nigeria in there?
I'm thinking Uruguay for some reason. But no, that wouldn't be right. Yeah, because that was 2000. USA.
Yeah, we definitely had an African team. It might have been like a Nigeria or Algeria.
Algeria sounds like a shout. Shall I load it up?
Go on, have a look. Have a look. See what we've missed out.
Because USA is obviously Clint Dempsey. Fuck.
Yeah, we had a Rob Green moment. Peter put in the chat as well, like Calvert-Lewin and Grealish on for second half, or I can see Scotland possibly winning. Yeah, wow. I mean, when you look at Scotland's team, you can see, of course, for them, I think they'll not make any changes yet, unless McGinn's pulled up with anything, because I know he was hobbling around at one point. But apart from that, I could maybe see at some point in this game a Ryan Fraser or a James Forrest coming on, someone with a bit of pace to test the back line if they want to change it up slightly. But it was in the group.
United States topped it.
Of course.
We came second. Slovenia were third, and then Algeria were the other side.
Yeah, I thought we had an African team in it. I just couldn't remember which one it was.
God, I'm just looking at that Slovenia game. We won 1-0. So disappointing, isn't it?
See, that's how we've always been. And I think you look at that as well, and you look at the class of the players we had at that point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, depressing.
I've just looked to kit. We made 2 subs off the bench. You know what? Fair play. Like our starting 11 was David James, then Glenn Johnson, then Matthew Upson and John Terry, and then Ashley Cole. Like Terry and Cole, fair enough. Then our midfield was Gerard Lampard, Gareth Barry. Our left mid was James Milner. And then it was Jermaine Defoe and Wayne Rooney. Off the bench, we brought on Joe Cole and Emil Heske.
Yeah, you look at squads like that, don't you? And you think, how did we not do something with it?
He started against Algeria. Oh my God! I don't even remember. He started against Algeria.
That's England for you. That's England
USA.
For you.
I understand why we lost everything.
Yeah, that 2010 World Cup was not good. We're going to see a few of the games coming up over the next few days on the channel. We've got the second half coming up in a moment. Players coming back out onto the pitch in a second for the second half. And then tomorrow, Rowan is back again. Hungary, France, 5-2. Should be a good game, that one, in Group F.
It will also be an F1 qualifying watch-along at the same time.
Really? Two in one?
Yeah.
Portugal, Germany as well, Group F. That'll be afterwards with myself. And then we might have Spain, Poland with KL afterwards, so 3 games again. And then Group A, Italy, Wales, Switzerland, Turkey. It'll be yourself and KL together for that one as Group A finishes. Of course, Italy and Wales pretty much through. And then North Macedonia, Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria. I'm going to do Ukraine, Austria. And then we'll see who else does that North Macedonia, Netherlands match, seeing as that don't have much on the line. Might even do it too if nobody's up for it. But
I'll take any game, I'll be honest with you, mate.
We love to see it. So it might be me and you again. We love it.
But at least we're both watching 2 different games and not watching the same old shite. But yeah, F1 qualifying's on at the same time. And I was like, well, France-Hungary is going to be a bit boring at points. So I'll just play F1 on my phone on the side.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
We won't Austin Marketers that. We're working Marketers. I'm out with squashes as well as this second half is underway, but I'm severely disappointed with my squashes.
See what happens. Can we get something out of this game? Are we going to win it? Or is it going to be a chance for Scotland to get some and maybe make Group D interesting?
If Scotland gets something, if Scotland get a win, all this game is interesting.
Hasn't made any changes, by the way, England or Scotland. Jack Grealish is still sat on the bench. I mean, we completely forgot. Obviously, we still got Rashford as well, who we haven't seen yet in the tournament, which is mad to think.
We've got so much depth in positions that we do. Like on wing, we've got Rashford, Sancho, Grealish, Foden, Sterling, who all can come on. But then midfield, we've got 2 in Henderson and Bellingham.
Depth-wise, we are good. We are very good.
I'm very surprised. I really good ball in behind.
There's no one there. Harry Kane's run towards the near post. Good effort, though. Shaw has been likely in this game. I'll give him credit.
Yeah. I mean, it's his first game in this competition, and you know what? He's trying to prove something because that left back spot is up for contention. Trippier played there. Chilwell played is in the team now. It opens it up.
See if England can get an early goal in the second half. Wow. The answer is no, they're not.
Targeting the front post. That's a mistake.
And here comes Scotland. Heavy ball though, and I think we're a little bit lucky that ball was a bit too heavy because that could have been a chance there.
That could have easily been a chance. Calvin Phillips making the mistake as well. Something we haven't seen of him in that last game and this game so far.
No, definitely not.
Just proves he's only human.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we do get a goal in this game because obviously you can see scores-wise today. The other games we had, Sweden, Slovakia, that was a 1-0 win for Sweden. Good result, that. Not the greatest of games. Croatia, Czech Republic, a game which Croatia needed to win. They didn't. Got a draw, which, of course, depending on what happens here, could be potentially Croatia out of the tournament. If Scotland were to win, then it's going to make it very hard for Croatia to go through to the next round. And then, of course, we're still 0-0 in this game.
Yeah. If Scotland win, Harry Kane, good ball to Sterling on the wing. Can it play it in?
I thought it was a chance. The ball was intricately put to the near post. And I think had Kane been there in that situation, would have been better. As Mason Mount goes for the effort and a good save from David Marshall.
I thought that one was in.
Come to life now.
Oh,
here we go.
That's loved by Raheem Sterling, by the way. To get that ball to Phil Foden. Hazard done. Oh, through the leg, shut him. It's good defending, actually.
An inch away from it.
Great defending from Andy Robertson. But look at the England fans. They're loving it.
Another set piece.
This is what you want to see from the side. Go and get a good ball in. Oh,
Foden, nah. Wrong player to be having the ball on.
Why is Foden on the front? I know he's probably the smallest, quickest player. But whack I'm about to say whack Tyrone Mings there. Good opportunity from Mason Mount, though.
A very good chance.
Oh, you tired, Josh?
I mean, just a little bit. I didn't have much sleep last night.
Bless you.
But good chance from Mount. He's had a good game.
Yeah.
I think he has been one of the players on the pitch who's been a little bit of a bright spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think hopefully this second half is a chance for these players to sort of step it up next level. But yeah, I think that's probably his second opportunity, third opportunity on goal, with attempt of shooting. And you know what? We've come out with a bit of renewed energy this second half.
We need it.
We do need it.
We massively need it. Because I feel like as this game goes on, Scotland will get a bit more desperate to get something in this game.
It's a good ball. No, it's not. It's
nowhere near him. There's been some shoddy balls like that in this game.
Been really poor. It's one thing that Trippier was very good at that first game, actually.
Balls into the box.
Yeah, balls to the box, balls down the wing to Foden, really good. James and Shaw haven't really done that. It's one thing, as Grealish is doing his boots up and Ramsdale was looking. Does Ramsdale know something we don't?
No, I think everybody knows now from the little applause I've just heard.
But did you see that Jude Bellingham was drinking an energy pouch? So I think that means...
They just showed Jack Grealish on the big screen, so everybody started cheering.
Southgate must know. The thing is,
I don't know, he's just teasing everyone, and he's just told him to lace his boots up just to tease everyone.
Scott McTominay. This is where Scotland can be dangerous if he stays on his feet.
That's where you want Shea Adams, not Lyndon Dykes.
Yeah. Is it Adam? No, Adams is on. I thought Adams came off there. Couldn't see him, but he was there.
No, he's still on. Still on.
I realised at the time it's probably very early to bring on Jack Grealish. But the thing is, the crowd is so behind Grealish that when he comes on, it's going to be like... Okay, I can't do that kind of reference. It's going to be like when a darts player plays in front of his home ground, nation. Yeah. So it's like if Van Gerwen playing in front of the Netherlands, he'd be absolutely adored compared to the rest. It's the same with Grealish. If he comes on, he's going to be way more adored than any other English player because people have been clamouring for him to come on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact he's a very appreciated player for the quality of talent he's got. But here comes Scotland. This is a brilliant opportunity for Robertson. He hasn't got anybody in the box. One of them was Dykes, but he's just not there. Unlucky.
He's that one player in this Scottish side you do not want running down on the wing to play a crossing. He's so lethal with his left foot. Look, got lucky there.
He's a world-class player. He's a world-class player who we saw Alaba for Austria when he was able to put in a few good crosses in that match which they won against North Macedonia. Yeah. But he can bring danger, Robertson.
Really can. And you know what? They've got a few standout players, Scotland do. Robertson, McTominay, Tierney. Then you've got like Che Adams sitting in there. They could be a really John McGinn as well. They've got an okay side with that one standout in Robertson. And we've seen that with quite a couple of the teams in this tournament where it's a good team and then you've got Goran Pandev is basically what it is for, and Alioski, I suppose, but like Pandev is that number one for North Macedonia. And we see it with a couple of the other sides. And it's just a bit of a shame because I wonder what teams, it's same with Ireland, what team can Scotland have if they had people who were Scottish, but like they chose to play for England or who could play for Scotland? Because they could have a probably very decent side if they could have a couple of probably English players that play.
Yeah, I think Ireland is an example because they could have had Declan Rice, I think. So
They had Declan Rice, didn't they?
yeah, a player of his quality in the midfield for someone like an Ireland would be perfect. But
how come he didn't get country locked? Did he not play enough caps?
I don't know on that one whether he actually played for the main team or whether it was for the under 21s
Really?
or the under 23s. I don't know how it works.
I know Gio Reyna has just been during the Gold Cup got cap-tied, so he can't play for England now. He can only play for USA. And I think there's a couple of players in the American setup who have recently just been cap-tied as well. So I don't know, because surely Declan Rice played quite a few games for Ireland.
I don't know, to be fair, because I guess at that point when he was being or was in the Ireland team, it was when he was just kind of becoming a big time player.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether or not he actually had played any games in the main team or whether it was kind of just lingering around it and he was going to get called up at some point and England snatched him.
Not cap-tied, FIFA eligibility. You know what I mean? Eligibility. I can't say the word.
Eligibility.
Thank you. There we go. Well, so they showed Sonny Aluko there. Okay, this is 2004.
I think the rules might have changed since then.
Oh, here we go. A new ruling came into effect that permitted a player to represent one country at youth and another at senior level, provided the player applied before their 21st birthday.
Which, to be fair, Declan Rice is
23.
So he would have been
22, yeah. Here we go. Jermaine Jones, the legend. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that makes sense. Because if you think about what's it called, the entire French team, they wouldn't have really a French team because obviously they all come from African
descent. Yeah. He's Foden. He's someone who can take a man on. And again, he's pushing forward. He's trying to get a bit of creativity. Yeah. I do think we might have a chance here. Kane on the left wing. Kind of want somebody else there. Lovely ball. Sterling.
Oh, it's Reece James.
Good chance.
If that was anyone, probably but Reece James.
He can hit him, but not that one.
Not that one. Blazing over the crossbar. I think, you know what, a better option there, look to the right, is I think to the right he had, this angle might help, no. He had someone to the right, I think Robertson was actually covering it. Maybe that was the smarter decision. Who knows? He's loving it in his nice outfit.
I think we'll see a change soon, though. 10 minutes now is gone. I think England have looked okay, but again, there's not much much difference.
Is that Jordan Henderson on the sideline there, I think, warming up?
I think that was.
He's chosen an awkward side. He's done a full lap.
And there's a few other players coming down for Scotland as well, I think, who are getting ready to warm up as well.
There are 3 times you can make subs in it, 60th, 70th, and 80th. Well, no, you can make 3
subs. At any point, but as long as they're made in the 3 intervals.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
Kyle.
I was just about to say, Kyle's the perfect man to ask, isn't it, with Ireland?
Yeah. He's put in the comments there as well.
Declan Rice and Jack Grealish should be Republic of Ireland internationals, in my opinion. Played in a few friendlies a few times, but didn't count under FIFA laws. There you go. That's why, because it wasn't competitive, which really pissed me off. Are there any other players, Kyle, that you know? Because obviously you're the connoisseur of the Irish players who haven't actually been capped for you. Like, is there a squad of players you could make that
Lyndon
are
Dykes
internationally playing? Shea Adams is in there. Oh, all wrong.
He had Andy Robertson to his left, Dykes, and he played.
Not even that. He should have just taken the shot on first time. It did way too much. And I tell you something, if England can count here, which Kane's too fucking slow,
he wins free kick.
Free.
No, we don't.
No, you don't.
Don't know what that's for.
Tell you what, he did it all wrong there. I feel like, and I hope we see the replay. I feel like all he had to do there, Shea Adams, in the box was take the shot on from a certain point. Here we go. We're going to see it. I know we're not going to see Kane because, of course, what's the point?
Well, Kane stopped.
That, to be honest. Right, here we go.
Look, Dykes, look at them on the left.
Look at this point now. Shoot there. Yeah. And you've got a chance. Put it into the bottom left-hand corner and he just dawdles on the ball, I think.
And then that point where he tries to turn and shoot.
Yeah.
Play it to Lyndon Dykes, so I think Billy Gilmore.
Massive chance that. England went up there.
I was thinking he should have played it to the left, but from that angle, Robertson is a lot further back than it looked like. But we've got a free kick, Phil Foden was saying it's a good ball. It's like Grant Hanley. No, yeah, it was. Winning the header straight to David Marshall. Oh, nervous.
Nervy moments.
Yeah.
Moment.
And they're teasing us.
Hopefully, we'll see him at some point. Again, he's on the big screen. I can hear the fans applauding him.
Because I'm pretty confident. Didn't they tease Grealish last game? Like, well, Southgate sent him out to warm up, and then he just never came on.
I don't know. I don't think he did.
Didn't he? Oh, I thought he came. I thought like Grealish kept him warming up quite a bit, but he just never came on.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't do that in this game because it is a game screaming out for him. But Peter Pot, I remember the first £1 million player, Kevin Francis, scoring for England against Wales, winning 1-0 at the famous Park in Cardiff, 1979.
Mental that. And 1 million was the highest thing, which is a long time. But you look now, 1 million genuinely doesn't get you much. Well, it gets you F all politely.
No, it probably gets you a League One player these days.
I think it gets you 1/5 of Denis Cheryshev. So you could take his head.
You're probably not wrong. Oh, Sterling. Good work from Foden.
Yeah, again,
Right,
you keep
in the
Foden.
box.
It's a good ball, Foden.
Oh.
It's it. Oh, no, he's
no, way too risky that going for the shot. Another chance.
I mean,
again.
he's not even left.
It's it. Now it's it. Kane.
Oh, what a block, Grant Hanley.
Quality block. He's had a good game so far, Grant Hanley.
He's had a really good game. As the only centre-back in that back line, he's really held his own.
It's come to life. We've had a few good opportunities in the last 5 minutes.
Both teams just won it.
And Scotland need it, but obviously they don't want to push too many players forward because they know England are going to keep coming forward. But
if this
I tell you something, it'll be carnage tonight if they lose in Wembley, Scotland.
If this game ends 0-0, right, our group gets because England and Czech Republic will both be on 4. Croatia and Scotland will both be on 1. Because then surely anyone can go through.
It would go down to head-to-head.
Whoever wins their games then.
Oh, go on, Mount.
Oh, good block.
Come on.
Look at Mount cheering up the fans, as like sort of egging on the fans.
Oh, here he is. He's coming on.
No, we're being teased. No, he's actually got a shirt.
On. I'd like to think they just have him on the touchline and don't bring him on. He's just there. You know how Ronaldo was when he came off injured at the final and was just doing all the sign language on the touchline for the manager.
Oh, it was bowled by Mings. It was really bold. I don't know if it was a header or...
the slowest bicycle kick attempt I think I've ever seen.
I thought I got worried then. I got... All right, Pickford.
Oh, what a ball!
What a ball!
What's a ball!
Well, Sterling.
He did that 2 or 3 times. Go on, Sterling.
Play off.
Foden.
Scotland will come again.
What a game this is turning into now, isn't it?
Linda Dykes is down. Oh, I got up a bit too quick there, Dykes.
Send to end now.
And referee's already having a word with him.
This is anyone's game to win. But what I will say is, I know obviously we were saying earlier about how we haven't scored, but so far we haven't conceded, which is a little positive.
He's drinks down here. One crossing
in the second. Shea Adams.
Lyndon Dykes heading it in. I mean, this cross, if they play it in.
Here's the cross.
It's a good ball.
Oh, bloody hell, I thought he was going to get to him as well.
Oh, God. Well done, Mings. And he's not happy. I love this.
What a life again this is now.
It was a... Thing is, if Mings doesn't win that, Dykes is easily heading it. Is Lyndon Dykes naturally bald, or has he shaved his head since the last game?
I don't know. I thought he was bald.
Yeah, he must have been bald.
Naturally.
I don't know. I just thought he had hair in the last game, and I know I'm definitely wrong. But it's
no, he definitely didn't have hair in the last game. Unless he shaved it off in the last week, and I haven't noticed. But
it's just under Swiss players.
This is a massive chance.
It's a huge chance. It's a good ball.
It's towards Dykes.
What a block!
God, lad, what a fucking block!
Oh my God, Reece James.
Jesus. Reece James. Lyndon Dykes has had 2 opportunities now. Oh.
Now if that is going in on target, that's a heroic block.
I mean, Ali McCoist on commentary is gutted, and I do think that's 2 opportunities Dykes could have had to probably put the ball in the back of the net.
Is this a substitute as well? Look at this. Is he going on target?
I think he was going away from goal. The back angle's better. Yeah, he was going away.
But fair play to Reece James. Better safe than sorry. Yeah. That could easily going off the post. And really? I mean, I'm glad Grealish was coming on.
Oh.
Why Foden?
I think there were a lot of people saying why Sterling not come on.
He's got a stiffy for Sterling. He does.
I mean, the applause I'm hearing right now is rapturous for Jack Grealish. I think it'd even been more louder if Sterling was the one that came off.
100%. I mean, at least Grealish was on the pitch. It's a shame it's for Foden. It really is. Because Foden hasn't had a... I want to see... Hello, Pod. I want to see Foden play a full 90 minutes.
I think he's been one of the best players on the pitch, and you've subbed him off and kept Sterling on. And obviously, I don't want to sit there and slag Sterling off. But he has had probably not his best game. I think he would admit that himself. But he didn't have his best game last time, and he scored, so we'll have to see. But Kyle put in the chat, in terms of players that could have played for Ireland, Alex McCarthy, Kyle Norton, Michael Wilkeen, Patrick Bamford, of course, forgot about him, Harry Maguire, Kane, and Maddison could have all played for Ireland. What a squad that would have been.
That would have been incredible squad. Corner comes in. Pickford's going to clear it. Well done.
Good punch. He's been brilliant, Pickford. I know he's not had much to do in the last two
Commanding.
games. Yeah, I've said it before. Like, he had a good end to the season for Everton. And I feel like he's taken that form into the international stage. How's Pod doing?
He's just said it's coming home. So
he knows. He knows there's a last-minute goal coming.
He really does. But this has been such a good second half.
And we've still only had 2 shots on target in the whole game. Well, 3 shots on target now.
I haven't even checked my bets, but I know they're definitely not coming in.
Yeah, mine went out the window. It's a shame because I do genuinely think if the Stones goal have gone in early on, that would have set the tone for the match. But it's definitely been set now with all the chances we've had. Both teams wide open.
I still need both teams to score as well. So
still time.
I'm still in for it, I think. I'll have a quick check.
25 minutes.
Come on. Let's create something. Pardon me. Okay, I've had my 3+ Scotland corners. I need McTominay to get carded, over 2.5 goals, and England to win.
By the way, they've just said on commentary, obviously, I've got head-to-head. I made a pitch for it and that, but they've played 114 times against Scotland. There has never been a 0-0 draw at Wembley between these two sides. So what's the chances?
At any of the Wembleys as well?
This is the first one.
That is incredible. More than likely it's more than likely. By the way,
ends 0 now.
In my other bet, I have had 4+ corners each team. I need 20+ booking points each team, and I need both teams scoring and England to win. So we need Scotland to score, England to win, and then we can forget about everything else because they're just going to happen naturally.
Had Dykes have scored it and made it interesting.
Really would have. Good ball in. Oh, come on. Is this just going to be a game of what ifs?
It's a game of chess. It's a game of chess, this. And as this game goes on, Scotland will get more and more urgent. I'll be intrigued to see who they bring on because obviously they've got all their subs left. They haven't changed anyone. So I'd expect maybe like Forrest and I think Fraser at some point.
Is Armstrong on the bench or is he injured?
Let's have a look and find out.
I know he played against
Czech
Republic. Maybe see Stuart Armstrong come on as well. The player I could see. But another free kick for England here. And a couple more.
Sorry for jumping in. DCL Rashford warming up as well.
Yeah, and is that Henderson as well? The player next one. So a couple more players warming up. Which might have been Jude Bellingham's not going to come on, but I can let that pass. He played one game. I'll take it.
At least he had a period on the pitch. I think right now probably not the game to bring him on.
No, not when you're hunting for the win.
See if we can get something from the free kick. Ball to Kane would be nice.
Oh, Mings.
A bit high.
Go on.
It's not really got anybody near him.
No.
Calvin Phillips always.
Go on, Grealish. This is where you want to see Jack Grealish driving at the other team.
Yeah, this is a man who can take players on. It's Sterling. Calvin Phillips.
Sterling. Oh. Raheem Sterling, who's moving at snail's pace there. Oof. That ball, I just didn't have confidence with that ball for some reason. I thought he was just going to hobble past Pickford.
No, luckily he's all good. He's all good.
There's worries, Josh.
There's always going to be, but he's not a worry because it's Harry Kane who's going to play it towards Grealish. That is a quality challenge from McTominay.
That's an incredible challenge. Oh, the bastard.
Again, Peter, £50 draw at 5-1. He's not looking bad.
Mental.
Again, that'd be a third bet of the day. I think that's come in.
That is incredible.
You've got 22. The Oracle, Peter. You might have to give us a few betting tips in the future.
If that comes in, that's incredible. You just had a draw. I thought you had a 2-2 one, but you went 2-2 prediction, but you just had a draw. Well, for our sakes, Peter, I hope it doesn't come off. We want an England win. We do. And even then, as I said, we 20 minutes left. It feels like there's like 5 minutes left. Go Grealish. Oh, that's perfect.
Nobody edge of the box.
He does well, look, 'cause he takes it past one, nutmegs him, but then just couldn't get the return ball. The pace from Robertson. Oh, someone's just gone down.
Referee's going to play on anyway.
Yeah.
I think Scotland were expecting something there.
I think that's why I think they slowed down to walking pace. Just got to get something now. I think one boost they do have with having McTominay at centre half is that he can run up the pitch and you can feel a little bit more confident. Same with Tierney. You can feel a little bit more confident with it. But
definitely. And
Scotland will just want possession.
Just trying to see the players who were warming up. Some have been sent back.
Mm-hmm.
No Scotland players warming up.
No.
Unless they're on the other side of the pitch.
We'll have a look now.
Oh, no, there we are. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
And I'm about to say, I'm surprised he's not, unless he tries to make him next time the ball goes out of play, but no, not even lookings of making a change for Scotland. And do they need to? Possibly, but
I think they're trying to hold off and wait. And I think what will happen is when Scotland make their changes, I think England will match them and make their changes as well, just so then both teams have got similar substitutions on the pitch to try and affect the game.
Yeah. Like for both sides. As if you hear some rustling, I do apologise. I think my cat may have seen something out the window and I was going to be running up and down the blinds. So if you hear something, I do apologise. But 0-0, and is this the time they pull the trigger?
I think for Scotland it is.
Yeah, they're looking.
I didn't have to.
Yeah, but nothing silent from Steve Clark. Oh, strange. Is that not a poncho, a parka? What Southgate's wearing?
He's brought it for the right occasion, though, with the weather. It's not, not waistcoat weather for him, sadly.
You can wear a waistcoat wherever if it gives you wins.
You're not wrong. Right, there we go. So the Scotland players have been sent back. Let's see if
they get
any of them get called up to come on.
I'd
assume probably they would be.
Yeah. You wouldn't send them out for that long and then bring them back immediately. So it should be a couple of changes. Yeah, a couple of players are getting changed now. Interesting to see if these changes come off. I'd like to see a couple more from England, We're 71 minutes in. It's the one problem I had with Southgate. Maybe in some of the friendlies. Oh, it was one of the games where the manager just waited until the 80th minute to make. It was Edin Terzic to make the changes. Just waited so long. Good ball.
That's offside. Fucking useless.
Fucking take him off. And that's 19 minutes left. Surely you've got to bring on some more players. You know what? It's close. It's very close.
I think we need to bring DCL on. I really do.
100%. 100%.
I would probably. I think you got to take Kane off. I think I put Kane on, and it's Rashford who's going to come on.
He might go. If anything, probably could play up front.
Yeah, I think he could. Or it comes off. Sterling comes off. Sorry, and Rashford comes on.
Yeah, because that's a shame because there'll be no Sancho. But yeah, that makes sense. Rashford left. It's DCL at striker. Wait and see. We'll be Rashford. Are we going to do one more sub, or is he not going to use all his subs? So I think it'd be very stupid not to use all of his subs. at this point in the competition?
I think he will. I think he'll probably bring on
3 at once.
3. So Maguire would come on because I think he said he'd bring him on at some point. DCL and then someone else.
Henderson, maybe.
Yeah. Carl saying this game was hyped up so much, not living up to that. Yeah, that, as I said earlier, that was my worry with the game, that it was going to be a little bit too hyped up.
Yeah.
And that it ran the risk of being a bit of a disappointment. And it's not living up to the hype.
It's really not.
I've got to say, I don't think most of the Euros has lived up to the hype. It has been a little bit lethargic. There's not been many good, high-quality games. There's been good games, but not many classics. We've had one.
One, which was?
Netherlands against
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Big up. Oh, go on. Oh, that's fucking awful. Poor from Shaw there. Just create something. Can he just make the changes?
See the shot again.
Thing is, it's not a good shot, but it's nice movement from Shaw. Him and Mount linking up well. Maybe the bounce does him in a little bit there, but no.
Tries it with the outside of the foot. And Kane's going to come off. So Sterling still stays on, but I think Kane hasn't played great today.
No, not at all. He just couldn't get involved in the game. But what worries me now is he's not going to bring these subs on till the 85th minute. And then is it too little too late for DCL specifically to get into it? Hello, Beckham. So you doing there?
Sporting his nation, of course.
Yeah. Fair play to him. Oh, the MLS season's back. What's he doing over here? The MLS season's returned from the international break. He's got to be at his club managing it. Not managing it. Chairmaning it.
I don't think he's too fussed.
Same. And he's not even a chair. He's the owner, so he doesn't even need to be there.
Yeah, I think he'll have a fair few tickets for some of these games for the Euros.
Yep, 2 seconds. I'm just going to have to find a charger. Oh, I thought that was my drink. 2 seconds.
That's all good, lad. There's another man, Sir Alex Ferguson, in the building as well. Of course, played for Scotland in the past. Good to see him there with everything he's been going through over the last few years. And England here, 15 minutes left to try and get something. Same for Scotland. As I said before, look, I don't think this has been a great game. Again, it's been a really poor day of action. Really poor day of action in the Euros. It's not had many goals in it whatsoever today. And it's looking like, again, we're expecting here probably another day where it's been a bit poor. I mean, Scotland are going to bring someone on in a second. And with 15 minutes left here, are they going to maybe get a chance to win the game? It would be so not surprising. It would be a brilliant moment for Scotland, wouldn't it, if they were to get a winner? And I said it before at the beginning of the stream, and I said it earlier on in the other stream. I said I was expecting a 90th minute winner in this game. I didn't say who it was going to be for, but I've got a feeling something's coming. Whether it's
still there,
Scotland.
Still there. All right, we're charging. We're all good.
All sorted. Here comes Armstrong.
Oh, for Gilly Bilmore, right. For some reason I thought it was Tierney at first. I was like, strange.
No. Sean said, is Alex Ferguson there to see some of the Man U players? He was a former Scotland player as well. So, yeah. I mean, he's going to be there for the experience, no doubt.
McTominay's his dream, innit? Scottish and United.
Perfect player for SAF. But yeah, he'll be there for the occasion rather than scouting. As most people will be, of course. The amount of VIPs that they've got to attend the games.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
What does he do, Ferguson? Does he work for United still, or is he retired?
No. I think he works for United. I don't know what he does, but I think he has a role at the club.
So you'd be stupid not to, wouldn't you? A legend of his standing.
Yeah, he's always going to have a place for United, isn't he?
Yeah.
If there was any job available, I think he would be in the frame for it.
Yeah.
A bit like how Wenger is with FIFA. How he's got a job for them.
Exactly.
Oh. That's not a good edit, but there's no one there, although Lyndon Dykes is making a good run.
The thing is, Scotland, that's a good ball in behind. Stuart Armstrong.
Play safe here, Phillips. Good kick away from Pickford. Did well there.
Declan Rice.
Again for Scotland. going to
Big
be
opportunity.
Robertson. Ball played into the box.
That's a good ball.
Adams!
Oh! Thank God. Thank God. Oh,
that was the chance. And I tell you something, he's not had a good game in front of goal, Adams.
Really
I think that's about 3 or 4 times he's missed opportunities. Look at that. See it again. He's got to score. That's fucking terrible. That's awful.
I'm getting itty shots, Josh.
Not with those shots.
Oh.
That is woeful. I think that's one of those where he's just slashed at the ball. Rather than keeping himself cool and calm, he's just absolutely whacked that. And I mean, if you're an England defender, you're glad that he's sent that probably out of Wembley.
Oh, you're probably one of the most thankful players in the entire stadium, especially if you're Tyrone Mings, because that's where sort of the chance event ended up coming from his mistake. Sterling, though.
Still going.
He's trying to create something.
Anywhere. Now he has. No, that's going to be a dive. And that'll be a yellow card.
Get up, Raheem.
There wasn't much in that.
I don't actually blame you.
I mean, we'll see.
Nah, not enough in it.
I don't think that's enough for him to go down. As Alexander's in the building, he says, any bets on the game? We have got bets on the game. Mine's died because I needed both teams to score in both halves. But yours is still going, Rowan.
I'm pretty confident. Yeah, mine is still going, Xander. I still need both teams to score. So that's not looking likely. If I just sorry, I can't load up it. I still need both teams to score. I need England to win. So it's really not looking likely. I need over 2.5 goals. I also need some more bookings in the final. I need 20 plus booking points each team. Both teams to score and England to win. And my other one is England to win, over 2.5 goals, and Scott McTominay to be carded. So it's not coming in, but
you'd need quite a bit in 10 minutes. They brought Peter Walter in to obviously do what he always does and just agree with the referee.
Yeah.
But VR didn't even check it. So it doesn't matter anyway because he wouldn't have been given because they didn't even look at it. But
absolutely
nothing in that.
Absolutely nothing in it. It's not. I understand why he's gone down, but there you could have played it back to, I don't know, it might have been Grealish who was next to him. He said, I understand why he's took it to the byline, but just keep it in.
If you stay up on your feet, maybe you've got a chance to whip it in the box, but
exactly.
Obviously not. Here is a man who can bring something to the game, Rashford. One of his first few touches. And Grant Hanley, I mean, I'll tell you something. I'd probably say Grant Hanley's in contention for man of the match. He's been brilliant for Scotland
100%. 100%. He's one of the reasons. He's one of the main reasons we haven't scored. I think Robertson on sort of the taking the ball away from us once Hanley has made a block has been great. But yeah, he's definitely man of the match contender. Rock solid. Not given any of them. Well, when it was Kane, not giving Kane or Sterling a chance to breathe. And it's paid off well for Scotland. And you know what? If they come away with a point, they'll go face a struggling Croatia.
Oh, here's Rashford, though. And again, Grant Hanley. Animal.
Absolute rock. I hope I did commentator's curse, but never mind. Now Scotland are counter-attacking. Oh, no.
Shadows is really well there.
See, look what happens when you stay on your feet. You get advantage.
Long-range effort from McGinn.
Took some
Yeah, I mean, Grant Hanley, man, that's a brilliant tackle again. He's been solid. I mean, to sum his performance up, if he could get a goal from the corner, then maybe would certainly give him man of the match.
Good ball by Rice. Probably was going to head on target. I mean, then Pickford would have easily saved, but...
I mean, as a neutral, I would be screaming for Scotland to win this. As a neutral. 100%. I would love Scotland to win it for then the whole group to be wide open, because then both games mean something. Because England wouldn't necessarily be through then.
No. And if we lose this game, then if we do go through, a game against a tough side is going to be very, very hard.
And you've got that game, England versus Czech Republic. Should be a cracker, that one.
Oh, yeah. It's because it's on at the same time, isn't it?
Is indeed.
The other ones. Dub.
Should be a very good game, that, regardless of whether England are through or not. I think it'll be a very entertaining game to watch.
100%.
But Peter saying, got a feeling Scotland are going to score and ruin my bet. They've got 8 minutes. It's felt like a long game, this one, but...
Is it bad that I might be rooting for Czech Republic in that game? I won't be, but there'll be if one of the Slavia lads score, like Mazepin scores,
You'd be happy for them.
I'd have no option but to celebrate in a sad way. It'd be the most like
if England aren't through and Czech Republic are, which to be fair they are anyway, then would you be backing England more?
Yes.
Let's say they lose here.
They lose here, yes. Probably.
Still on the inside, if Mazepin or something like that back, still celebrate.
I genuinely, it was what game were it? It was not Slovakia. Yes, Slovakia in that first game. I saw one at Poland coming because I thought they could have made a nice little run. When Homoda was just when he got on the ball, I couldn't be anything but excited for him. It's so bad. It really is. I've just got little affinities for players. It's how I like football.
We all do.
Yeah, it's how I like my football.
Players not at our clubs.
Yeah, I always obviously will back Scotland. Scotland? No, England.
Whoa.
I'll always back England, but there'll be some part of my back head that's very excited for Jan Borrell to score 75 yards screaming past Pickford.
And still, technically speaking, with the way that this game's going, there's still a chance we could finish third, which is what technically would be better for us.
Yeah, that is mental, isn't it? That a third place finish could be better for us. Imagine if we don't.
As I said, we said before, you've got to beat the best at some point.
If you want to beat the best, you got to fight the best. As Chris Eubanks says, yeah.
I think they're going to score. I really do. I think Scotland they've really put the pressure on now. They're playing very well.
I know. But I hate managers making changes late on. I bet 8, and I don't see even anyone warming up. Oh, there we go. I'm lying. But making changes later on doesn't give, unless you can get that 90th minute winner, as you've talked about in this game. Just making it that's foul. It's a very clear foul as well.
Get him off, Josh. That's criminal. Only joking, Rowan.
Genuinely, if Mings gets a card here, Southgate makes a change. Take off Maguire and bring on Maguire for Mings. Because you don't want Mings getting a sending off.
The rest of the other changes as well, probably. You'd think.
Yeah. And never mind, it's going to be Scotland.
Here we go, another change. Attacking one, Nesbitt comes on.
Exactly. And at least he's making changes. Very surprising that. I would have took off Lyndon Dykes if we were being... I don't know. I feel like Che Adams had a better chance to score. Look at them.
I think the thing is, though, with Lyndon Dykes, you've still got the threat because he's so tall that, I guess, on corners and set pieces, he's a man that you'll have that can get a chance on the ball. But I don't think Che Adams had a good game. He had chances, but he didn't take them. Well, I think Lyndon Dykes here, a free kick, an opportunity like this, where if Lyndon Dykes can make the right run, we've seen it once or twice in this game, he's been a threat. And a bit more of a threat than Adams was, but 100%. Free kick comes in, and nobody bothered running.
God. And now, for England, they've got to go. They really do. As Pickford will just drop it for Mings.
Well, the thing is, they don't.
No, they don't.
A point is still enough for England.
It's so sad, innit, that a point is good enough.
I think that's the problem with the Euros, and we were saying it before in the stream. It was KL which said it. I think that's the thing where we get to these games, game match day 2 or 3, where teams are in positions. Prime example, Sweden, Slovakia. Both teams happy to go for a point, and in the end, yes, Sweden did win, but I think they need to change it up slightly. Yeah.
I heard you two talking about the third place playoff, the third place thing, and I like it because it does mean that even if a big team has a poor performance, they can still get through to a knockout stage. Another booking point for Stephen O'Donnell this time. It just means that, like, let's say Germany failed to get out of this group, out first and second, they still have got a chance to make it out. And who knows, it's a one-off game in the knockouts. And it really could change, and you could see a team really turn up that came third, like possibly England.
Yeah, I just think at the same time, it's like, does a team in third deserve to go through?
No.
It's just a weird one. I mean, they could go down the route as before, where you change it and you have the teams, groups of 8. or something like that. You get 8 groups, so then you get 16 teams top 2 go through. But I don't know. It's a tough one because I think that's the uniqueness of the Euros. The fact that the third place team can go through, it makes it a little bit different from the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
But I just think sometimes when we do get to these latter stages where teams only need a point and they might be coming up against another team that needs something similar, it can make for a pretty boring game. But this hasn't been boring.
The second half hasn't.
No, definitely not. I just think Scotland here, if they don't come out with anything, I really do think Scotland will feel like they could have got a win here.
Yeah, they really could have. I think they've had opportunities. Shame nothing stuck. One thing for me, again, not promised, but we told Maguire will come on. Well, when's he going to come on? Because if you want him to build a little bit of fitness for the game, like match game fitness, where's he going to play? He's not going to play 3 minutes of football, is he?
Yeah. I don't think he's coming on now, although he is Dalic's handball in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll bring him on.
No, genuinely I don't. Which, mental, innit? Absolutely mental. I think it's been poor manager from Southgate. Genuinely do. In terms of managing of the... I wouldn't be... But you know what? Do you know when he took off Kane for Rashford? Foden for Grealish, fair enough. I think when he brought Rashford on, bring on one more player. I don't know who and why and what, but
I still don't think he should have subbed Foden off. I would have kept him on and had Sterling on, but it looks like here it might end in a 0-0 draw for the first time ever in 115 matches.
And if that doesn't
0-0 at Wembley,
if that doesn't sum up England so far, I don't know what will.
I mean, Pete's made a fair point. England is terrible. 3 out of 10. If you were in a hotel, you'd want your money back. But to be fair for you, Pete, you're making money very shortly. If there's not enough, if there isn't a great deal of additional time, you'll make a bit of cash. Again,
I'm about to say, you're a lucky man. Look, we see players warming up there. They're not going to come on. And Trippier is definitely one you can tell from the height.
There'll be no more changes now. Maybe one, if they were to score.
It depends how much at a time as well. But I don't think
4 minutes, I think.
1. There's been no breaks in play. Maybe 2.
Look at that. Look at the left-hand side. Mount screaming for the ball. Going to keep going on the right. 2 added minutes, by the way.
Who was supposed to be playing on the right for us? Grealish.
It was Foden originally.
It was Foden. We've changed because Grealish is down the centre. It looks like... I don't even know what they're playing. Oh, God. So poor.
I think 3 out of 10's been a little bit nice. He's going to hate that.
No, he's not. He's been smart. Go on, Rack. Go on. Where is it? Shoot.
Oh my Lord. Jesus.
What was that?
The free kick was given anyway, by the way.
For what? Oh, God. Look at what it means to the Scottish players, though.
See that again.
It was Rice arriving, gets stuck. Rice steals it, couldn't get to Rashford.
Oh.
What foul's in there? Rice can't do anything. Sterling's not doing anything. I don't know what that's given for, but 1 minute left. Surely this game's over with 2 subs being made from both managers, in fairness, weren't it?
Yep.
Mental. When you've got the quality of a bench England have, to only be bringing on Jack Grealish and Rashford is disappointing.
Very disappointing.
I just want to, even DCL, have an out-and-out striker on the pitch.
I mean, it's mad to think that with the way that this group's panning out, that Czech Republic match is going to be very key because
it really is.
Scotland will have a point. Croatia, Scotland will be pretty much a winner takes all.
Yeah.
And England, Czech Republic, there'll be less pressure on the line, but goal difference might be key.
One will have a draw. Croatia have the draw against Czech Republic.
He's going to blow the whistle. He's going to blow the whistle.
Just hit it.
And it's cleared away, and that's that.
Blow the whistle.
Whistle blown. 0-0 draw between England and Scotland. And,
I think Southgate is happy with that.
Whether that's enough for England to go through because, of course, we've got a lot of teams on 4 points. Obviously, we don't know, but not the best game from England. It was really, really poor. And I mean, as Anonymous Dead has said, England team plays like this, doubt they'll be European champions. I doubt we'll make it through the round of 16 with a performance like that. Anonymous Dead, I'm not going to lie. But we have to give credit there to Scotland because I think they played fantastically well. And that draw just keeps them in with a potential chance of maybe they'd have to beat Croatia, but maybe they've got a slim opportunity of making it to the knockout stages.
You know what? They beat them 2-0. They lost Czech Republic 2-0. Drew with England. Can they make it loss draw win and sort of do the reverse? But I think there are a lot of areas that I think we went wrong today. And first of all, keeping Sterling on the pitch. I would have been happy with Rashford, Calvert-Lewin, and then Grealish. Genuinely. The thing is, what even is it to say? It was just poor.
Yeah, it was very poor, and fair play to Scotland. I'd be intrigued to see who gets the star of the match because I've got to say for me, it probably was. I think Grant Hanley was brilliant, absolutely fantastic in this game. Played really, really well. Lots of opportunities where he blocked shots and that. I think O'Donnell played brilliantly as well. Had a good few opportunities in the game, and in the end, obviously for England, they're on 4 points now. For the Czech Republic, they're on. I think they're on 4 points as well.
Yeah.
And it means that Croatia and Scotland on 1 point. Winner takes all in that game. Should be a very interesting game. And I'll tell you something, I'm not looking forward to that match against Czech Republic because I can really see them getting something against us.
Same. I really can. The way that we played against there, Czech Republic would make us pay. I genuinely think they would. Because we just didn't take the game. We really didn't. Opportunities and miss. It's the substitutes for me. When you're making two substitutes, and it is not a must-win game because a draw is fine. But right, if you win this game against Scotland, you don't have to worry about the Czech Republic game because you could still go out if Scotland win and Czech Republic beat us. Surely, whoever I don't know who finishes above who. But if Scotland win, they'll have the same goal differences. No, they need Scott. They'd have to win by one clear goal or even two clear goals. But for me, not enough change. I would like to see more.
Yeah, and that game, of course, against Czech Republic on Tuesday is going to be a very interesting match. We'll have that covered, of course. Rowan is watching that game, and it should be a very good one indeed. And talking about other games to come on the channel, of course, England, Scotland, all done and dusted now. We're done with Group D for Match Day 2. We're back for Match Day 3 for that. Tomorrow, we have got from 5 to 2, Hungary, France with Rowan. Group F action there. We'll also have in the afternoon at 10 to 5, Portugal, Germany with Group F. And then I think Kale's going to do Spain v Poland at 8 o'clock. Should be a very good game, that one. Italy, Wales, Switzerland, Turkey. That's Group A, Match Day 3. That's with Rowan and KL from 4:50. They're the only two games of the day. And then North Macedonia, Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria. That will be with myself and probably Rowan. So lots of action to come in terms of those games with Match Day 3, which starts in just a few days' time. Don't forget, you can check our social media as always. Our links in description and in the chat. Twitter is at @the_top corner and Instagram is _sportscorner_. Do go check them out if you haven't already. But as everybody's been saying in the chat, when saying good job, guys, Met game should have played Henderson or DCL. And I think for England and specifically for Southgate, there's a lot to learn for that final match against Czech Republic because Group F or Group D, it's looking like winner takes all from both of those games.
Yeah, and you know what? That match day 3 of this group is going to be very interesting. The thing is, I don't think many people want to do the Watchalong with me because they'll all want to be watching England. So it'll be interesting to see. But that Croatia-Scotland game has got a lot riding on it. Our group could become one of the most interesting groups now due to our head-to-head works, goal difference, and the fact that we've just got a draw here. If Scotland won, my God, is everything a lot more interesting then. Because Scotland beat Croatia, they're topping the group. But now, I mean, they could still top the group. No, they couldn't. They wouldn't be able to top the group. But that Czech Republic game, I'll be caught in two minds, but we'll be rooting for England.
to be a very good game indeed. Thank you very much, Ron.
Thank
Greatly
you very-
appreciate it tonight. It wasn't the best game in the world between England and Scotland. It wasn't a thriller, but what it does mean is it makes for a nice, thrilling final match day. We'll be back tomorrow, as said, Rowan, with Hungary versus France from 5 to 2. But as for now, don't forget to leave a like and subscription if you are new to the channel. Have a fantastic morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. And we hope to see you again soon on the Sports Corner. Good night.